Alright, next video. I'm knocking some of these out tonight, so they won't be very long videos, but at least you'll get my thoughts on some of these firearms after, the experience that I've got with them as far as how they've functioned and the accuracy and how they feel to me, my opinions on these guns. So the next one that I thought I would do a video on is the Rival S by Canik. I picked up one of these guys, and again, man, these are some excellent guns. Just like, to me, the ergonomics, it feels good, but to me, it definitely doesn't feel as good as like the Platypus does. Or I'm kind of fond of finger grooves. I like the finger grooves. It keeps your hand from under recoil sliding down the grip. Especially when the grip's metal, it's hot and sweaty, humid outside. It will, even with a pretty heavy checkering on the grip, it's still, your hand will slide. So anyway, it feels good in the hand, presents very well. I put a SRO on it. I've tried, when I got it, I tried RMR, Holosun, Vortex. I've got a bunch of optics, and I tried, put all of them on there. None of them really fit to me. I don't know. None of them really looked right to me until I put the SRO on there. These are my favorite optics for pistols. SROs, I think, are awesome for a target type shooting pistol, which is, majority of what I do is shooting steel, target shooting, things like that. And to me, the SRO is just excellent. The best, my favorite optic for sure, in my opinion. I think it's the best as far as a target shooting type optic. But so I put the SRO on there and fell in love with it. Has been 100% reliable. Again, I'm just, want to tell you my experience so far. I can't remember how many rounds I've got through this thing. It's a few hundred that I put through it, because I've shot it at the indoor range and out there at the outdoor range, and we put quite a few rounds through it. They do not offer a threaded barrel for the Rival S at this moment that I'm making this video. Can't find one, unless something's changed in the past couple of days, which I doubt. Look at there, there's a threaded barrel. Yep. And what I did was, I had a couple of the TP9 SFXs, and I pulled the factory barrel out and compared it next to the barrel for the TP9 SFX, and it was almost identical. There was just a little bit of difference in the width of the bottom lug, of the bottom foot that's on this barrel. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, no problem. I'll just fit this barrel right in there, just like I've fitted a bunch of 1911 barrels. You have to, on the 1911s, you have to fit the barrel to the gun by hand, and I have done plenty of them. So I figured, no problem. I'll just get my tools, my files, and I'll fit this barrel down and get it right in there. Well, it's not happening, I can tell you that. There's no filing on this barrel. This is not a stainless barrel. This is a very hard steel barrel, and there was no filing. I tried. There's no metal coming off of this. I didn't want to. If it's hardened, you definitely don't want to file the surface off of it to soften, because underneath it'll be a little softer. So I tried filing a little bit. Nothing was coming off. I could tell right away there's no filing on this barrel going to happen. So I stopped. But it fits. It did fit in there. It fit in the gun. It is a little bit longer then like a barrel that was actually probably made for the Rival S would probably be just a touch shorter than this. It doesn't really bother me that it's sticking out an eighth of an inch or so further than what it really should. That's not that bad. So I figured, what the heck, I'm going to try it. The only thing, and I'll get some B-roll and show you, when I put this barrel in there and you let the slide closed, it is going fully into battery. You can tell that it isn't in battery. The barrel is locked. The barrel's not moving. It's in there just like the factory barrel. You know, there's full contact there. But with that lug on the bottom, or that foot on the bottom of the barrel being just a 1/16 of an inch wider or longer than the factory barrel, when the slide comes closed, the slide hangs off the back. I'll get some B-roll and show you, but the slide is hanging off the back like it's not fully in the battery. Just about a 1/16 of an inch. It's not much at all. It just hangs off just a little bit in the back. When I saw that, I was like, oh crap, it's not gonna work. So I put some like laser cartridge in there to try it out, and it worked. The laser cartridge worked fine. The laser fired every time I pulled the trigger. The laser fired, so I knew the firing pin was hitting the primer good. And I looked it over. I compared the fitment of this barrel in there with the factory barrel when the slide was closed, and to me it looks fine. I don't see any issues with it at all. I actually got online and looked around or searched around and found, I'm not the first person to do this. Somebody else on Reddit or somewhere had said, yeah, I put a TP9 SFX barrel in my Canik Rival S and it works great. Been shooting the hell out of it. I was like, well, once I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. So I took it over to the range and, tried it out. Shot one time to see, and it worked. I shot a few times and just to test it, no problem. Put a couple hundred rounds through it at the indoor range just to test it out, try the suppressors on it, and it did excellent. So then last weekend we took it over and shot some steel with it, and no issues. Works great. It may hang off just a little bit in the back, but it is fully into battery, and no issues. It shoots good. So again, it's another very nice firearm from Canik. I have no complaints about it. The only thing I can complain about is I wish Canik would get off their butt and make a factory threaded barrel for the Rival S. That would be great. Because some people like to shoot suppressed. I love it. I should have never done it. I should have never bought a suppressor. I'm going to do some videos on the suppressors, and hopefully I don't entice anybody or encourage anybody to buy suppressors, because it's another whole rabbit hole that you're going to go down, and you're going to end up loving it, and then you're going to buy more stuff. That's what it does. It just causes you to buy more stuff and spend more money. Because once I bought some suppressors and shot with the suppressors, I love shooting suppressed. It's just so much better to me. It tames the recoil, gets rid of the muzzle blast. When you're letting somebody shoot for the first time, it makes all the difference in the world. I just took a neighbor of mine to the range and let him shoot quite a few of my pistols and rifles suppressed, and he loved it. He could tell. And I don't think that the experience would have been as good if we had not been shooting suppressed, because he's not really a gun guy per se, but I could definitely tell he had a great time, was very comfortable. It made it more comfortable for him to shoot, especially on an indoor range. The blast is a lot greater on the indoor range, and disturbing for some people that may not be used to, using firearms. So that's one thing I like about him, is introducing new people to firearms. Anyway, we're going to get off on that tangent in another video. But I just want to let you know what I thought about the Canik Rival S. It's a great gun. It's got some weight to it. Compared, I was trying to think of what I can compare this to. I don't know. Boat anchor maybe? No, it's not that bad. It's heavy. I mean, this is a heavy gun, but it's supposed to be. It is a target gun. It's made heavy to tame the recoil and make follow-up shots easier and faster. And that's what it does. I mean, this is not the type of gun that I'm going to carry around on my hip all day. I mean, it would be a cool gun to carry because I would trust my life with this gun. It's been 100% reliable, and it is laser beam accurate. And I can't think of anything bad to say about it at all. But just know that it is heavy. That's why they call it the Rival S, because it's all steel or all metal gun, and it's got some weight to it. Recoil is very light, very manageable. Muzzle flip, especially with a can, it stays flat. Love shooting it, and I'm going to be shooting this one a lot more too, for sure, because it was a pleasure to shoot. And if you have a chance to pick one up, then I would highly recommend this gun, for sure. So, there you go. Sorry, forgot to mention this. It comes in this big honking Pelican type case with all the fixings. Like I said before, unless you've been living under a rock, you don't know about Caniks. Caniks come with all kinds of goodies. Even like a little tool that looks like a gun. It's got all your little bits in there for the little screws and nuts and stuff that you need to work on. The optic plates are in there, a loader, and a holster, cleaning stuff, all kinds of little goodies in there. This is the factory adjustable rear sight that I took off to put the optic on there. It comes with two 18-round mags. I think maybe it came with, no, I think they were both 18-round mags. Yes, they were. Come with two 18-round mags. I actually grabbed one out of my TP9 SFX that had a Taylor Freelance mag or base plate on it. I need to pick up another one of these for this gun, but I had bought a couple of these Taylor Freelance base plates for one of my TP9 SFXs. So I went ahead and grabbed one of those magazines and put it in there just to give me a base plate, which I like. Makes it a little bit better when you're inserting the magazine. When it's flush, you really have to get the palm on it good to make sure you're getting it in there. Whereas with a base plate, it's a little easier to strip it out if you need to, or when you put it in there. It's just, I like the base plate better. But anyway, that's what it comes with as far as the case goes. All kinds of goodies in your paperwork. Different grip modules to make this a little fatter or a little thinner. It comes with those too. So yeah, so it's got a big old honking case. I'm sure it's waterproof for that notorious boating accident. This is going to be a hard one to lose in a boating accident because I'm sure this will float. But anyway, that's the case that it comes in. Canik Rival S gets a thumbs up from me.